If I want to get the nutrients out of this Kit Kat, I've got to digest it. I can start my process by sticking it in my mouth and chewing it. That's called mechanical digestion. But to get the nutrients out, I need to use chemicals called enzymes. So today we're thinking about describing the role of enzymes in digestion. Now, the digestive juices contain these special proteins called enzymes, and their job is to break down large molecules into smaller molecules so you can digest them. Your nutrients come in the form of these really big molecules like this, but the size of them is too great to be absorbed in your small intestines. So what the enzymes do is slowly break these things apart into the smaller pieces that you can actually start to digest. You've got 3 different types of enzymes that you use in your digestive system. They're actually produced here in a tiny little organ underneath your liver called the pancreas. This is the rest of your digestive system here, your stomach, your small intestine, your large intestine. The 3 different enzymes we've got are carbohydrase, protease and lipase. Each of them breaks down a different type of nutrient, and it's named depending on the type of nutrient it breaks down. Carbohydrase breaks down carbohydrates into smaller sugars. Protease breaks down proteins into amino acids that are needed for cell growth and cell repair. And lipase or lipase breaks down lipids or fats into fatty acids. Good. So we can actually test the action of enzymes using a little experiment that involves iodine. So what I'm going to do is, firstly, I've got 2 different boiling tubes here. One of them's labelled A, one of them's labelled B. I'm going to add into both of those 2 boiling tubes some of this 1% starch solution. Okay, so I'm going to measure it out. I'm going to use a measuring cylinder to ensure I've got the same amount in both, so it's a fair test. I'm going to put 5 cubic centimetres into measuring cylinder A there, and then I'm going to put 5 cubic centimetres into measuring cylinder B. So I've got the same amount in both there. Okay, now I'm going to put this out of the way just so I don't get confused. Now, into measuring cylinder A, I am now going to add some of my carbohydrase or amylase solutions, 1% solution of amylase there, and I'm going to add 5 cubic centimetres of that as well. So that's going to go in there. So now I've got my carbohydrates into there. It's going to start breaking that starch down. Into the other one, I'll just give this a quick rinse out. 2 minutes, so I'll put it in. I'm going to put 5 cubic centimetres of water, just so we've got, again, a fair test. We've got the same amount in each one. So now I've got 1 tube that contains starch with the carbohydrates, which will hopefully break it down. Another tube with the starch and just water to act as our control. Now what I'm going to do is start my stop clock, click if I had one, and I'm going to start to, let me just get clean the thing. And then once every minute, so when my stop clock gets up to a minute, I'm going to take a drop of this one and add it to my spotting tile here that I've already added some iodine in. Now, iodine is an indicator for starch. It turns black if there's starch there. So I'm going to add it in after 1 minute. That dark colour tells me that the starch is still there. I'm going to do the same thing for my water, my control, and that should go black. And what I want to do is look at how this colour changes over time. That will tell us if the carbohydrate is breaking down the starch or not.